Recording in progress. Okay, we're on.
Okay. So we started this and we're calling it Dual Intuition. It's
Hmm. Yeah, it's grown
um
on me.
yeah,
I like
I
it.
mean kind of hit me yesterday, but so CJ and I met about I guess 2 weeks ago.
Something
He
like
came
that.
for a spiritual appointment and I had no idea about anything. And he wanted to come in person, which I never allow because it's my home. And I had a really good feeling about it. I wasn't even sure what the feeling was. I just had a good feeling about him, his energy, what have you. And some interesting stuff transpired between us.
Very interesting stuff.
You want to tell, about how our histories kind of linked up and stuff?
So I thought I'd wanted to get a reading done for a while. And, when I saw your Instagram and TikTok that you did the readings and I'd asked you to do a personal one, the first thing you said to me was, I typically don't do them in person, but I will make an exception for you. And I remember another thing you said to me when I was heading to your house, as I was almost there, and you said, I have a Saint Bernard and she's a jumper because my daughter lets her jump on her. And I'm just, and I said, don't worry about it. I said, animals love my energy. People are amazed how their pets are with me. And I walked into your house and that dog did not try and jump on me once, did she?
No, she was good. She liked you though.
Yeah. But that just goes back to the energy. But also, it was weird because I don't know if you'd mentioned it before, but part of during the reading, it came out that I travel to, Florida regularly. And, when you asked me, you said you have some place you travel regularly. And I said, you're like, oh, no kidding. I went to University of Tampa. I was like, no shit. Of course you did. Which I went
Hmm.
there also. And we were also there at the same time as well. So all circles right back. But I came to you, wasn't looking for any, I was curious to see what would come out in the cards naturally because I've done a lot of work and I've kind of leveled myself up. And the last few years, I've seen things and I believe things that I wouldn't have believed 3 or 4 years ago. And what I came to you looking for, or what my intention I set for, what I wanted to get some clarity on or some guidance on was like my life's mission, my soul's mission, what have you. Like, how can I leave the world a slightly better place than when I got here? And that was kind of the intention I set. Wasn't love or money or any of those things. And that was, the intention in my head. And here we are doing this. So it's meant to be.
Yeah. And also, I remember one of the things I kept saying was, oh, you have this creative thing that you like to
Yes.
do. And tell me about it. And during the reading, you would just like, whatever, you listened, you didn't say a word to me. I just did my, thing that I do. And then after it was over, you were like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel and I do this, this, and that. And you were like, afterwards, you're like, do you want to like do something together or collaborate? And I'm like, oh my God, I've been literally asking. I've been wanting to do a podcast and I wanted a man and a woman's perspective. I wanted it to be, like both sides equally because
Mm-hmm.
it's like to just come from a woman's perspective or just come from a man's perspective because it's hard to understand each other 100%. Like, no matter how much work I do, I still get confused about men, and I'm sure vice versa, right?
I mean, women are more in their emotions when they make decisions, and their decision men are more logical, generally speaking. Not everybody fits, but generally speaking, men are more logic based in their decision making, and women are too, but women are a bit more emotional, just you know physically, and they're just built differently than men, and their emotions on that day in that moment are going to affect some level how they make a decision in any type of different given situation. I mean, men somewhat too, but women more than men. So it's what's the book?
Men are from
Yeah, that's
Mars.
the one. Men are from Venus, women are from Mars, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, but I've seen some couples that do things like this, kind of like, health and wellness, or, relationship or life coaching or whatever. I've seen couples that do it, but I've never seen like two people that are just like, say, friends, you know what I mean? That, come at it with the dual perspective. So I just thought it was an interesting route to go with it as well.
Yeah, and take it a step further. Like, I think soulmates can be not just lovers, but we can be like, we're meant to do something here together.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We're meant to have like a purpose together.
Hmm.
And so the whole thing that I guess mentioning it is because I feel like I manifested it. It took a little bit because I had been talking about it for a while, and then you showed up, complete stranger. Now, I mean, you don't really feel like a stranger anymore,
I
but
know, right?
um just the synchronicities, like when we believe something and we put it out and we have trust in the universe, like it will come to us, like we'll bring it in.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I was saying like too when I was telling you that I had that channel and I really enjoyed doing it. And I never monetized anything. It was just a, passion project. I'm big into crypto and I'm passionate about it. I like it. I was a finance major in college. It all folds in. But I had to stop making the content for personal reasons. And it was over a year since I had done any videos. And I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed making the content and talking about things I'm passionate about. And you you whacked that creativity card like 4 times and asked me like, are you sure? Music, nothing, you play an instrument, like sing something. I was like, no. And you just moved right along, but you knew it was something there. And I also was, I have some personal stuff going on that I felt blocked by with regards to creativity and doing that content. And it's just, since we met and we did that reading together, like that's been gone. And I've been enjoying having getting back into it, even though this is never in a million years what I thought I would be on a health and wellness podcast or trying to give any type of life coaching advice. But here we are. What the hell, listen, we're also both, to be fair, in our 40 ishes. And when you hit that age, it kind of comes with some experience as well, life experience that you just don't have before you get there. It's just a mile marker for anyone in their life, is that you're kind of, I think people that get married when they're 20s, you don't know who you are yet. Even in your early 30s, people can still be in that 20s mentality, especially nowadays. And say, 40 is a new 30, blah, blah, blah. It's true. People live longer and their mentality shifts. So until you get to around 40, you don't even know what you want out of life.
To be fair, things are a lot different now than they were when we were in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
There's people are transitioning and having access to things that we really didn't maybe have access to until, like I just feel like the kids, like, and the younger adults, their souls are much more evolved because
Mm-hmm.
they're access to stuff like this
Right.
from home. And but then there's also the opposite spectrum that a lot of people are suffering with depression, where when we were growing up that wasn't even really a thing. It wasn't as extreme as it is right now.
Oh God, I suffered from depression for like a decade of my life. We can do a whole series on that.
All right, well, we will, because I'm sure it's going to help some people.
Hmm.
A lot of people. I mean, I suffered with anxiety, but for me, I went to the gym compulsively to deal with that energy that I had,
Mm-hmm.
and meditating and all that stuff. But you know luckily, it seems like I feel blessed and I'm able to look at myself and make changes accordingly. And I know that's really difficult for some people to look at themselves. They want to blame outward all the time. That just gets you stuck in that spiral,
Yeah.
uh, and constantly creating, more of what you don't want. So, I also want to say to everyone, and you can also speak to it too from your perspective, like we are the creators of our reality. We can make a change. We can change our lives. Nothing is consistent unless we want it to be consistent. So if we're unhappy, we can start to make changes little by little every day so that we can start to enjoy our lives more.
You know, and for me, I was sharing with you how, I have, ADHD and I get stuck on some things, and it's stuck with regards to sometimes getting started on a project or doing something. And it's just like, I don't think people give enough credit to the fact that if you do like one small thing and just start folding that in every day instead of trying to like make a huge change and map your whole day in 15-minute intervals and plan for your whole month, rather start small. Take that one step. Do 10 push-ups every morning. You know what I mean? Before you have your coffee or whatever, or take that 10 minutes to meditate every night before bed. I'm getting up 20 minutes early so I can do a couple push-ups and have some quiet time to myself. And whether you got kids, you got to get up for school, like get them out the door, get them on the bus, and take the 10 minutes after if you can't get up before. But that one small thing, then you can fold in another and another. And before you know it, everything's changed. But taking that one step is the
Mm-hmm.
thing that people discount because they're like, oh, it's too much for me to do everything all at once. Like if your house is a mess, oh, and you work a lot of hours and you have kids, okay, instead of being overwhelmed with the whole house, I'm cleaning the kitchen today, and the living room tomorrow, and maybe the family room is a complete disaster. I'm gonna go in there for an hour and then take an hour break and then go back and hit it again. Like just small things like that.
Yeah.
Help motivate
Sometimes I
you.
actually meditate in the shower because,
Really, in the shower.
because
I have to try that.
I was raising my kids alone for like the past 6 years, and I was like, I'm not going to stop meditating. Like it's my one vice. Like someone, like I smoke a little pot too, but some people have certain habits. I was like, I'm not giving up my meditation. I need to take a shower. I'll just do the same. I'll do it together.
Right.
And it started to work for me. And I did that for like years until my kids became more independent. So yeah, you're right. There's always one little thing that we can change up, add in, and then grow from there. Meditate. I went back to the gym. I started to take care of myself, self-love. And no matter what you have going on, you can always have better habits physically, but also in here
Mhm.
and also in your heart too, and doing like self-love. And then things really start to like shift. I don't know how much time we have because it's usually like a 10-minute interval.
I think we've time to restart. I think we're close. I think we got like another minute. Well, then I'll just wrap it up saying, I just wanted to speak to what you said about meditating in the shower. So I was watching, I can't think of his name. He's very popular on, like where we're at, self-help and life coaching and meditation. This guy does these big things, but his is more of a scientific approach. God, you know who the guy is. I can't think of his name. But anyways,
Dr. Joe, the guy
Paul,
that
I think that's his name. Anyways, one of the things that I watched him say was he teaches how to do the meditation and he teaches to focus your energy while you're meditating on your heart or whatever internally if you're sick to try and heal yourself. And he's got a good amount of scientific data backing it. But the one thing I was kind of taken back by was he says that he teaches the clients to meditate eyes open during the day and just keep your mind clear, like while you're just doing your day to day. And I was just like, I've tried it a few times,
it's
but
just
it's like
practice.
I never thought, even like you said, to the shower. It just made me think of that. I never thought to like if you're in the shower, bath, whatever, like take your 10 minutes in there and do it. I never thought to try that. I'll have to try it sometime.
Well, also because meditating really isn't about having your eyes closed. It's really about getting into a level of awareness. They usually say like theta or
Mm-hmm.
delta of kind of getting out of the mind chatter. And your mind, for a while in the beginning would always, my mind would always be like chattering and stuff. And then as time went on and years went on, but I tell my mind what to do now. I'm like, no, I'm meditating, shut up.
Yep.
And it doesn't try to, if I'm not good with my practice, it'll sneak up on me here and there. And I'm like, all right, yeah, like I got to meditate because my mind's starting to get like a little nutty now.
Right.
Um, and it's a full moon. So energy
Yeah.
kind of can get a little crazy during this time. So people need to be aware of that. Try to, not react to the energies. But yeah, we're going to post more. So we'll kind of wrap up for this one.
All right. So we'll clip this one here.